Started on our mat. Welcome to everyone here. Could you just start to bring your knees up? And I'm going to leave you lifting your knees, alternating as you do so. Just feeling yourself in motion, in movement. How does my body feel this morning? Let's go with 9, 8, 7.
Oh, she's starting.
And I'll let that go. I'm going to kick my heels to my buttocks. Same thing, just light and easy. I just would like to warm my body up a bit. And again, just 9. And I'll let that go. I'm changing directions each time. I'm bringing my knees up, different view. Every time you change directions, opportunity for a new perspective. 9, 8. Let that go. Again, I'm changing directions, heel to buttock. Just 9. And let that go. I'm going to come to just stand upon my mat, but let my right arm sweep forward and then my left arm. Reaching out, reaching forward, reaching towards. 9, 8. And then let that go. I'm going to let both arms scoop up a bit and sweep back. I'll let my mouth open, just soft and easy. But when I exhale out, I let it be audible. 9. And let that go. Let everything shake out. I'll stand nice and tall. I'm going to reach my right arm up to the ceiling. I just feel a long lengthening stretch from right foot to right fingertips. In fact, I'm going to just come to the ball of my left foot. So I'm really stretching tall. And then let that go. I want to be long on my left foot, left arm. Again, I'll just maybe be light to the toes of my right foot. And release both feet down, thumbs to shoulders. Invite those arms up. Nice long lengthening stretch. And just soft knees to release. I'll roll to my toes and I'll actually begin in a standing forward fold. I'm going to encourage you to stay right where you are, to let your knees soften a bit, to maybe let the head nod with a yes and a no. And then it depends on you and how you feel this morning. So I really invite you to notice you. If I had any kind of tightness in my low back, I might really focus on breathing into my back. Or maybe just keeping my knees soft. If I had any kind of interest, it could be interest, or maybe there's a little discomfort. It's just whatever might be going through me at my neck or throat. I might just really focus on feeling my breath moving through my neck and throat, or finding a way to be at ease there. And then let yourself make a transition. So you might need to slightly shift on your mat, but you'll come on down to hands and knees. And my first pose is a child's pose, but with my hips up in the air. So I'm going to keep my hips lifted, knee to thigh bone straight up, and I'm going to just stack my hands and rest my forehead down. I can really feel my hips upward to the sky. I can feel the broadness of the hips. And then I'm going to keep my hips lifted, but this time I'll let my hands reach towards the tops of corners of my mat. So right hand towards right corner, left hand to left corner. And I move slowly. I'm letting my elbows and forearms come back to the mat as I lower my forehead and lower my chest. And I'm thinking about my heart coming towards the floor. Now, you might be able to do this and not have to put down your forearms or elbows. So it just depends on you. Notice how your shoulder blades feel this morning. You don't want to be aggressive for yourself. You're just inviting an ease of movement. And then I'll move in slowly. I do put down one elbow and then another to bring me up. I'm going to take both of my hands to my right. My right arm is going to be to my right. My left hand's going to be on top of it. I could start to slowly let my hips come to my feet. My arms have formed a head pillow, much like on the massage table, and I'll put my head between them. And then I'm going to release and walk to my left. Same thing. It's my left hand there. My right's on top of my left. I form a little head pillow, much like the massage table, and I'm breathing. I'm going to gently come back to neutral. I'm going to stay up on those knees. Again, my hips high, eye of the needle. Right arm comes under left. I really outreach my right arm far away from me. I'm on my right shoulder, right side of my face. My left hand gives me support. And then slowly unwind and change sides. I'm on my right hand, left arm under, really outreach that arm. You want to come down onto the side of the head. Use your right hand for support. And gently release. I'm going to stay in my upper body one more time. I'm going to take the tops of my mat, hold them down. That gives me space for all of my knuckles to fold over, hold on, ease back my knees. Same thing, I can lengthen my torso and I'm easing my heart in the direction of my mat. Maybe my forehead touches floor. And then release the hands. And could you just ease the hips to the feet? Maybe they're getting closer this time, but certainly the upper body's feeling more comfortable, more at ease. I like to shift my hips, just inviting them towards the floor. And then if I wish, I can also stack my palms to be a little to be a little pillow for my forehead. And then as I let that release, I'm going to come to sit to my mat first and then lie down. And I'll do one more eye of the needle, this time into my hips. So as I come down onto my back, knees are going to be bent, feet on the ground. And just get comfortable. Feel nice and long. Your two shoulders make a nice imprint into the mat along with your two hips. And then the right ankle's on the left thigh. You lightly invite that right knee to open. And then if you wish, left foot can come off. And I can hold on behind the left thigh or thread my hands and arms under my right leg. But I'm very relaxed as I'm here. And then gently release down left foot and right foot. Let your legs stretch out long. You might point and flex the feet or just relax them a little bit. And then the knees bend and the feet are to earth, and it's left ankle to right thigh. I can invite the knee to open. I could lift off the right foot. My hands could come under or behind, rather, my right thigh or thread under my left leg. And then I'll gently let my feet come down and let my arms drop to my side with palms facing skyward, taking a moment just to be in pose of awareness. And as you feel your body, feeling your shoulders, your arms, and your hands, feeling the shoulders and the ribs coming into the mat, hopefully finding some balance, not too heavy in any one part there. Breathing into the hips, finding balance right to left. You feel a connection to your body that helps to keep you present in this moment. Let your right leg go out long on the floor, lengthening long, feeling that the sole of the foot, it's flexed and you're just really lengthening long through that leg. Let the right arm reach up to the sky slowly and it can start to lengthen back behind you. And I'm thinking about what my body feels like when I'm standing and I'm doing this, and I'm finding a way to ease into it here on the mat or I'm supported by the floor. I'm noticing that there's no tension in any parts of me, not in my lower back or my shoulders or neck. I'm finding a way truly to create poses that will allow me to be at ease or in repose within the pose. And my right arm comes back down, rests to pose of awareness. My right knee bends. There's my foot forward as well. And I take a breath. I'm going to really notice my right shoulder, arm, hand, and fingers, right side ribs, right side hip imprint to the mat. Then I'll slowly slide out that left leg and my foot's flexed. And again, I'm lengthening. I'm finding a way to be at ease as I lengthen my leg and then my left arm's to the sky and there it goes past my head. It's not really going all the way to the floor again. I'm finding that place to be in. to experience length and balance, stillness. Free of any disruptions that stress, or tension, or overdoing it could bring. Then slowly bring that left arm back into place. Again, feeling the shoulder and the arm and hand, the ribs, the hip. I'm going to ease in my left foot. There I am, pose of awareness again with the breath. And so then keeping that same awareness, let the right ankle come back onto the left thigh. And just gently invite that right knee to open. I'm going to stay right here. Let my right hand remain on my right leg. Let the left arm lift up again. And then slowly let that left arm lengthen. So I'm creating space or distance from my left hip to my left hands and fingers. Can you keep balance across the hips and let both arms lengthen to stretch back long? And then slowly bring the arms up so they're even over the shoulders. And then taking a breath, let the arms open into a T shape. I'm going to let my arms open out and try to lengthen long through my right arm, my left arm, and feel the opening in my heart and chest. And then can you keep the back of your hands on the floor, but just slide them back down into that shape, a little bit more like a letter A. And then once again, slow lift off of the left foot. You're coming into the eye of the needle. Maybe it's going to feel a little bit differently this time. Maybe your choices would be different. And again, comfortable as you come to hold and finding ease and tranquility. And then left foot's down and right foot's down, and just return to pose of awareness. I'm going to gently press into my right foot and feel my body lengthening on the right side a little bit. And then press into the left foot, just inviting a little more length or space. Here's my left ankle coming on top of my right thigh. And I'll take a moment to feel connected into my shoulders, my ribs, my hips. Right arm reaches to the sky, right arm slowly lengthening back. No rush, no strain, just a slow invitation to find length. And then slowly bringing that left arm also long and back. You're just lengthening. Again, my hands don't have to touch the floor. I'm finding length, long lines through my body that can become for me a symbol or a metaphor of infinite possibilities, infinitely long lines. I slowly sweep my arms up. They're going to be right above my shoulders. I'll take a deep breath and open my arms to a letter T. And again, my arms lengthen long, and it's that infinitely long line of infinite long possibilities. As I take a breath, I'll keep my arms here and let my feet this time both come back to the mat. And I'm just going to press into my feet for a moment, both of them lengthening my trunk. Lengthening my neck and throat, I'll turn my head to the right and look out to that right hand. And then slowly bring the head center, and can you lengthen the neck and turn the head left? And I'm coming back to center. This time I'm going to let my right knee drop to my right. So it just kind of folds down as my head turns right. You might notice a little bit more the right shoulder, back ribs to the mat. I'm going to bring my knee to neutral, my head to neutral, lengthen my neck. My knee drops left, my head turns left. And gently come to center. I'll let my hands this time slide in under the back of my skull. The head's changing direction. Lengthen the head and neck, and could you slowly draw the navel in and up and roll up head, neck, shoulders, and chest in the direction of your knees and feet. I want to try to find a point where my two knees can be at the same height, around or about the same position, and then slowly bring myself back to the mat. It's my ribs, my shoulders, and last is my head. I'll take a breath, press to my feet and lengthen. Exhale, lightly draw on my navel, long neck, and curl up head, neck, shoulders, chest. Maybe you came up a little higher. And then slowly come back. One vertebra at a time, one rib at the time. Then the shoulders, last the head. Press into the feet if you would, lengthen. Taking a breath, exhale, lengthen again, draw the navel in and up and roll up head, neck, shoulders, and chest. Let your hands scoop out to the sides, come to your knees, and think about starting your boat. And any possibilities, right leg could lengthen out. Feel long from the right hip to the right foot, and then put it down, lengthen out that left leg, everything's long. I'm going to bring down my feet, bring the hands behind the head. And again, it's a slow return to the mat. One rib or one vertebra at a time, the shoulders and the head. Last time, press to the feet, lengthen. Draw on the navel as you lengthen and curl up head, neck, shoulders, chest. Scoop out the arms. I'm coming to my boat. Could my legs go out? Navasana. I'm going to move my knees slowly into me. I'm going to give them a little inward hug and slowly bring down my ribs. Again, vertebra, vertebra, shoulders, head. I'm trying to keep my head last to touch down. I'll bring my feet down to the mat, reach the arms up to the sky, take a deep breath. And this time as I exhale, I'm pressing into my feet to lengthen me. I'm pulling down my arms so when my palms touch ground, they too press into the earth. Lengthen your spine as you lift your hips up off the floor and you're thinking about just the beginning of a bridge. You've maybe just put up just that little bit of wood starting the bridge, or just creating the start of its outline, finding strength in your hips, through your legs, your thighs, and at your feet. Again, take it slowly, lengthen the tailbone forward and start to lower those last couple of ribs and vertebra. Feel your waist coming down and then your hips as you relax. Nice, easy breath. Again, press into your feet to lengthen. Feel that it's a nice long body as you slowly bring your hips up into the air. Your palms keep pressing down. Maybe your hips could lift a little higher. Feel weight even on the shoulders, even at the skull. And again, lengthen. Here I come down, vertebra by vertebra, and that's my intention. I'm letting my top ribs be heavy to bring the back ribs back to the mat. I'm letting my abdomen draw in to bring my hips down and relax. Last time, just a light press to the feet, lengthening through the legs, the trunk, lifting the hips. Here we are again, bridging upward and finding that length. And then again, when I'm coming back, I feel each vertebra and rib slowly come back to the mat in their own sequential order. And then once they're all down, I ease down through my waist and I feel the top of my pelvis touch to my bottom pelvis. Take it nice and easy if you would. Inhale, let both arms lengthen and lift up, reaching long and back behind us. Find your body going long into what will soon be the shape of a volcano. Let both legs lengthen and stretch out, finding that length. And again, balance through the body. Can you feel the back of your right calf and left calf to the mat evenly? Back of the right thigh, left thigh even, hips are even. And then gently bring those arms down, slide up those feet, come back into that pose of awareness. Nice, easy breath. Just keeping it slow and steady for you. We're rolling to our side. We're coming up to hands and knees. 3 cat and cows. So just comfortable as you go, inhaling. Exhale, pulling the navel strong and deep. And again. And then as you exhale and round, let your toes curl under and lift yourself up and back into a downward dog and really find that length through your arms. Your shoulder blades are broad. You're reaching long from the back of the heart to the fingertips. You're long down the legs from hips to heels. You might lightly pedal the feet. And of course, remember, if downward dog just isn't in your repertoire today, you could be in child's pose. The pose could be in your mind's eye. The intention could be to experience the length. In your next breath, gently release to the knees and come back into a comfortable child's pose. And then rise up to hands and knees and start to create strength through the body, strong arms, narrow in at the underarms, very strong, dynamic, one leg back, toes are curled, legs are long and strong. Second leg, you're in a plank. Again, if that's just not going to work for you today, hands and knees could be a nice option. Beautiful. As you exhale, knees down, we're into that child's pose, soft and easy. And then rising up and coming out long onto the abdomen. Take the time to lengthen the legs. Feel that the head and neck are long, and then the palms under the shoulders, elbows close to us. First inhalation, just lengthen the head and the neck, let them lift a small distance. And then as I exhale, I'm dropping my elbows a little bit deeper, maybe a little more lift. And then my third breath, could I come up into that Sphinx? Shoulders soft, collarbones are opening. I'm going to flex my right foot and let my right heel come to my buttock. And release that right leg. Let it get long. It might even feel longer than the left one. And then stretch the left leg. I'm on my toes, is heel to buttock. And then gently release, hopefully 2 legs feeling equal and long. So this is a Sphinx. We're going to go into my modified Cobra in a moment. So I'll slowly come down, relax. For that modified Cobra, my arms come out to form a diamond shape. So elbows out to my side. Again, I lengthen my head and neck, and I slowly can bring up just a small bit of the head and trunk. Again, press into your arms a bit, forearms. You might find your trunk rising. Remember, you can stay right here. If you wish, inhale, draw up and feel the breath, filling the lungs, feeling your letting your ribs open, and there's a buoyancy of breathing that's helped you lift. And I'll take a breath, and when I'm exhaling, I'm going to float myself right back down to the mat. Stack my palms, relax my hips a little bit. Okay, just my legs are going to move today. I could lean a little bit to my left and slowly let my right knee bend. It's a half frog. It just bends out to my side, and my foot's flexed. And it's not as high as my hip. If I put my right hand to my hip crease, I can feel my knee is below that. And then I'll just rest my forehead here on my palms. And then slowly I'm bringing my right leg back in. Half frog on the left. It's going to be slow. I lean a little bit right to let my left knee just slide out. Yeah, my foot's flexed. My hands are stacked. My forehead rests. I can feel my right side nice and long. And the soft invitation in the hip to the left. Okay, keep it slow and easy. Slide that leg in. Nice long legs. You could shake them out a little bit. Hands under shoulders, palms to the floor. Let's return to the length first for the beginning of our Sphinx. A second breath where we really press down into the elbows a bit to lengthen and lift. And then that third breath that brings us to our forearms. I'll lengthen my head and neck. I'm going to turn my head and look to my right. Beautiful. And I'm coming center and I'm lengthening and looking to my left. And I'm gently coming center. And again, if I think about my lungs being able to fill with breath and become almost buoy-like to hold my body up effortlessly. As I exhale and I float down, this time it's just with momentum and a push up. I'll bend my knees, my feet are up in the air, hands under shoulders, pressing myself up and drawing back into a child's pose. Soft and easy. As you inhale, transition up. You can work with blocks if you'd like, but I'll take my right foot forward. I'm going to curl under my left foot, lift off my left knee, and I'm just watching that my leg isn't going to drop. It stays up. It's active. It's strong. I'm really active to my right foot. I could play with my right toes a little bit, lifting just the big toe 3 times and then lifting toes 2 to 5 3 times. I could lift and lower my heel 3 times. I can lift up my toes 3 times. Again, just ways to play with the foot, the ankle to get comfortable, to find a way to be long, strong, and dynamic in the pose. Let the back leg lower. And it's time you really relax that foot. You relax the leg, hands under the shoulders, and I'm using my blocks to first let me come up. And then my hands can come to my thighs. My hips are tilting back, breastbone up into a female warrior. And if I wish, I could take up left arm, both arms. I can also bring up no arms. Make this the pose that speaks to you. As I float myself back, I'm just going to straighten my right leg for a moment and flex my foot and lift up my toes, a little wiggle in them. And then I'm going to put my right foot down on the floor, have two 90-degree angles. Right foot, right knee, right hip, left foot, left knee, left hip. And the only thing I'll do is tuck my tailbone under, and it's a stretch into the front of the left thigh. Then I'll release and just switch my legs. Left foot forward, right leg back, toes are curled, long, beautiful stretch. And again, I'm active because I'm ready to run. It's runner's lunge for a reason. I'm ready to run the race. So my right thigh is active and strong, muscles on the front of it. The back of it, can you feel your right inner thigh active? Left leg should be active as well. I can really sit strong and deep onto my left foot and ankle. My calf is active. I'm breathing with it. And then it's intentional when I lower my knee, relax my foot. Hands coming in first on the blocks to help me lift to my thigh. I'm gonna lift my navel inward and upward, letting the tailbone draw back and the heart lift, and the arms could come up. Excuse me. My focus is actually that I'm lifting the pelvic floor upward. I'm going to ease myself down and just come back for a moment, letting my left leg straighten. My toes could wiggle. And when I come back in, I create two 90-degree angles. So left ankle, knee, thigh, hip, right one, and the tailbone tucks under. And again, that stretch was just into the front of the right thigh. I'm releasing. I'm coming back into a runner's lunge on my left. I'm going to play with the left toes. Lift the big toes 3 times. The other guys 3 times. Lift your heels 3 times. Lift the toes 3 times. And take a breath. Try not to drop the shoulders. Keep the head and neck long. I'll lower my right knee and change. Right foot out in front, nice and long and strong as you breathe and hold. And here's where we're going to change a little bit. I'm going to take 2 blocks left of me. So coming to the inside of my right big toe. I put down the blocks, or I'm just easing over my hands. I'm going to let my right foot move a little bit. I'll dig into its right heel and let the right toes slightly turn out towards the top of my mat. I'm going to ease my left leg long behind me and then put it down. I am going to lightly keep my navel drawn in, and can I start to bring my elbows down? Now my right arm is really going to keep my right knee directed, center over its foot, and I'm moving into a lizard pose. My hands come to my blocks or on the floor under me, and I slowly prop up. I'm going to let my right foot come neutral and curl under my left toes again and just have this nice long runner's lunge. Again, it's strong, active, and ready to go. And then left knee down, right knee back, left foot forward. I've got that runner's lunge again, strong, active, dynamic. My right knee comes down. My two blocks are right or inside my big toe. I'm going to dig into my left heel and slightly lift up the toes to turn out the leg and gently lower down my elbows into a deeper stretch, lizard pose. Left elbow keeps the knee aligned to its toes. Okay, slow and easy. We're coming up. I'm getting my left foot back into its position. I'm using my blocks, curling right toes, lifting in that strong lunge. I'm ready to take off. And when I take off, I'll be back to both knees and to a downward facing dog. Let your hips lift and just notice if anything's changed from your initial downward dog. Hopefully feeling a little more energized and open through your hips. Can you take a slow, deep breath there? Also, too, hopefully feeling nice and long and strong and comfortable through your arms. Again, you can work with the buoyancy of the breath into the lungs and ribs just to help you open, lift, and expand through the chest. And then coming up over your toes, can you make a slow transition into a plank? Again, we're strong, we're long, we're dynamic. We'll soften at the knees, draw back the hips, take a soft, easy stretch. I could choose to stay in my child's pose. Quite frankly, I'd love to stay in the child's pose, or I could rise up for upward dog, bending at the elbows, sliding forward and up, inhaling, exhale, curling the toes to downward dog. Again, you're just going to evolve and move slowly for you. Remember your choice of options. Come over your toes to form the plank. It's long, it's strong, it's dynamic, and that can be on hands and knees too. Exhale, drop back into your child's pose. Let yourself be relaxed a moment. And then if you're into an upward dog, we're rising, we're bending, we're sliding. And we exhale, downward dog. Again, we're coming over those feet and out into a plank. We have some really strong practitioners in the studio this morning, so everybody working with what suits for her. Now, I could lower my knees and come into child's pose and hold there, or come out, bend my elbows, slide forward in upward dog. Beautiful. And exhale back into downward dog. Choice, downward dog or on my knees, but I'm going to slowly let my left leg lift off the floor. My knee's going to be bent. Now you know this. I love this stretch in downward dog. I'll just keep doing the modified version. Let that left knee lift a little bit. Rotate and open you to the left. You're slightly looking towards your left. Relax your right shoulder. Breathe and hold. Returning to your downward dog. If you're modifying, returning to your knees. Slow transition of right foot coming up, bending at the knee. Right knee opening right. You can slightly gaze off to the right. Everyone moving with best choice for her. We're returning, downward dog, and then coming to the knees and coming to a child's pose to let go. As you inhale, come on up. Remember, we're going to transition to sit. And these transitions are just light and easy. It's to cultivate really ease of transitioning. So here's the soles of my feet together. I thought life was really easy, and then it was tough to transition to going to kindergarten. I thought it was tough to transition going to high school and college too. You can see I had a lot of tough transitions, and imagine as I got older. But again, it's that transition out to the staff. So again, you're just noticing, how can I shift comfortably and easily for me? Deep breath. Exhale in, cobbler's pose. Taking a breath. Exhaling out, staff pose. Breath in. Exhale, cobblers. Breath in. Exhale, staff. Breath in. Exhale, cobblers. Breath in. Exhale to staff, and let's hold here for a moment. If it's helpful to slide back the flesh around the buttock, do so you can sit to your sits bones. And again, just practicing light touch of the fingers to the mat. The navel draws inward and upward to our heart. And I start to really focus on my right leg, space between knee and ankle, and I can really feel right leg to mat. I like left leg to be a mirror to the right. So really feel left leg from knee to ankle to your mat. Feel left thigh, that's knee to hip, into the mat. Feel the right thigh into the mat. Feel the right sits bone, left sits bone, right heel, left heel. And then feel the crown of the head long and tall. Let the palms come to the heart, and you're drawing inward and upward. As you release. Again, nice easy breath, cobbler's pose. And a breath, and we're out to the staff. And we're breathing and we're into cobbler's pose. And we're breathing and we're out to staff. And we're into our cobbler's pose. And out to our staff. But when we come into cobblers, it's to stay. And again, I'm just going to take my time. I'm inviting my body to be comfortable and to find ease in the pose. If I would be better served or well served to put a block under my thighs, I could do so. They give me some support and I put them under that outer thigh. You may not need that. Hands could come under the ankle bones or at the shins to just help you lengthen up. Again, I want to feel my right sits bone, left sits bone. And then feel the right shoulder, left shoulder in space. Maybe breathe into the back lungs and ribs. Breathe into the back of the skull. And then gently let that go and let your legs stretch out. I'm going to let my legs and feet open. I'm taking my left leg in first and my right foot in second. As I come to sit, I want to be comfortable. Again, I might scoot back the flesh of my buttock a bit to be on my sits bones. I'll let my hands be at my side. I can always use the blocks to help give me a little bit of oomph, lift, support. My pleasure. But as I sit tall, I'll put my left hand over to my right leg and my right hand behind me. Just light. I could even put my right hand on a block. Lengthen the head and neck. Just let your eyes look right and your head turn right. Mm. And then let the head come center. I'm going to repeat to that side of the body. I'll let my left hand this time come over a little bit farther. Lengthen and lift. Easy breath. Looking to the right. Easy rotation right. And a soft, easy release. I'll do it one more time. Inhaling tall. Exhaling to my right. Maybe this time I'm coming a little bit farther around. Again, I'm getting a change of perspective as I see different spaces and places. And I'll gently unwind myself and let my hands walk out in front of me. And I want to be comfortable, but it is a forward fold, so always the intention of inward looking. And then use your hands, ease yourself up, and here go the feet out. And I'll bring my right foot in first, and my left foot's in front. And again, I can work with a block. I never need to use a block. It's my pleasure. I have my left hand a little bit behind me, and my right hand's just lightly cross my body, very light. First, I'll focus more on the head and neck, lengthening. My eyes look left, my head turns left. I might find a little bit of movement in my shoulders. I'm not falling back, I'm lifting up. And I'm gently coming to neutral. So again, let's think about an upward lift. Here's my right hand, maybe moving a little bit more left. Inhale. And exhale, looking to our left. Easy rotation. And I'm gently releasing. And here's my final time. Again, I can use my left hand behind me. I lengthen up. My right hand's moving around as much on my left thigh as I can. Here I am lengthening and rotating. And then slowly releasing, I'm going to ease myself, lengthening long and forward into that forward fold, gazing within the heart a bit. In yoga, there's often a reference to a lotus flower, and it's considered a very special flower, a bit of botany, and that the lotus flower comes into its existence in the muddy waters of a swamp. So, not really growing itself in its most beautiful fields. It's nothing like the lavender fields of Provence or some other beautiful assortment of flowers that you've ever seen growing somewhere. It grows out of the muddy waters in that swamp. So, as you slowly walk yourself up, could you sit for a few moments longer and just invite yourself to become still and quiet in your physical body? So, make this comfortable. I use my hands sometimes. I'll actually press my palms to my thighs to help me stay long. Certainly, traditionally, it's palms up. And just in your mind's eye, let yourself have the image of a nice, long, beautiful column building in the body from the tailbone to the navel to the heart to the throat. Space between the eyebrows and the crown. And along that path, there might be one point in particular where you might envision a beautiful lotus flower beginning to blossom, to unfold, to come into being. And it may be that you even feel that lotus flower at all points, not just one. Maybe it's at two, maybe it's at all. Do you feel that beautiful unfolding within you? Your infinite potential. And take another moment to be in the lotus flower of yourself. With your next breath, just let yourself release and come to lie back onto your mat. And just coming into Shavasana. You could keep your eyes closed or just soft. And as you come to rest on the floor, you might feel that lotus flower still with you in one spot, in several spots. But it's beautiful unfolding into you and your infinite potential. And then with your next breath, just let your palms come to your heart. Have a sense of feeling this stronger connection into your heart center. Feeling it one with the true essence within your own personal splendor. And honor and celebrating the splendor within you. Namaste. I thank you for joining this morning. I went a few minutes over to make up for our later start, but I thank you so much for being here. I wish you a beautiful weekend. Please take your time. If you have the time to remain where you are, please do so. And just in your own time, you might bend your knees, roll to one side, and just let yourself come back into your day in your own time. And I thank you.